The Porsche Revolution, how Japan saved a German icon. Today, Porsche is a symbol of unparalleled wealth, engineering perfection, and status. It is the most profitable car manufacturer in the world per vehicle sold. But if we turn the clock back just over 30 years, the story was dangerously different. In 1992, Porsche was a dying company. They were bleeding cash, their production methods were prehistoric, and the iconic 911 was becoming a relic of the past. Sales had plummeted 70%, and the board of directors was quietly looking for a buyer. The savior of this legendary German brand didn't come from a secret engineering lab in Stuttgart or a massive government bailout. The rescue team arrived from Japan. This is the incredible, almost unbelievable story of how Toyota's production experts saved Porsche from total extinction and transformed it into the financial powerhouse we know today. The artisan trap in the early 1990s, the Porsche factory in Zuffenhausen was less of a modern manufacturing plant and more of a chaotic, oversized workshop. While companies like Toyota and Honda were perfecting the art of mass production, Porsche was stuck in the era of craftsmanship. On the surface, hand-built sounds like a luxury, but in reality, it was a logistical nightmare. Inside the factory, workers spent hours climbing up and down ladders, searching through massive, disorganized bins of parts to find what they needed for a specific car. If a door didn't fit properly, which happened often, technicians would spend hours manually filing, hammering, and adjusting it until it clicked. There was no standardization. Every car was essentially a unique puzzle. This inefficiency was devastating. It took Porsche an incredible 120 hours to assemble a single 911. To put that in perspective, Japanese manufacturers were building cars with higher reliability in less than 40 hours. Porsche was losing roughly $3,000 on every car they sold. They weren't just an automotive company. They were a charity for car enthusiasts, funded by their own collapsing bank account. The radical gamble in 1992, Wendelin Wiedeking took over as CEO. He was young, aggressive, and realized that Porsche was weeks away from a takeover by Mercedes-Benz or Toyota. He knew that German pride was the company's biggest obstacle. Porsche engineers believed they were the best in the world, yet they couldn't even organize their own toolboxes. Wiedeking did the unthinkable. He called the Shinjitsu team in Japan, a group of legendary consultants who were former disciples of Taiichi Ohno, the father of the Toyota production system. When these Japanese senseis arrived at the sacred halls of Zuffenhausen, they didn't see German engineering excellence. They saw a disaster. During their first walkthrough, one Japanese consultant famously looked at the massive stacks of inventory, told the German managers, "This is not a factory. This is a warehouse where you are accidentally assembling cars." The tension was palpable. The Germans felt insulted, but Wiedeking gave the Japanese experts full authority to change everything. The cultural clash and Kaizen transformation began with a shock. The Japanese consultants walked onto the factory floor and handed the senior managers circular saws. They ordered them to cut down the tall storage shelves that blocked visibility across the floor. They wanted to destroy the hidden inventory. They introduced Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement, and just-in-time manufacturing. No longer would parts be stored in messy bins for weeks. Parts were delivered to the assembly line in small kits, exactly when they were needed. If a part didn't fit, the line stopped. This forced the engineers to fix the root cause of the problem, instead of just hammering it into place. The resistance from the workforce was fierce. These were master craftsmen who had worked there for generations. They felt like they were being turned into robots. But Wiedeking was firm. Change or die. Slowly the chaos disappeared. The ladders were gone. The floor was clean. The workers no longer spent half their day walking around looking for bolts. Everything they needed was within arm's reach. The birth of a new era, the results were nothing short of a miracle. Within 5 years, the time it took to build a 911 dropped from 120 hours to just 72. The number of defects per car plummeted by over 50%. Porsche was finally making money again. But the real genius of this Japanese revolution was seen in the development of new models. Using Japanese principles of platform sharing, Porsche developed the Boxster alongside the 996 generation 911. They shared the same front end, the same engines, and many interior components. This was heresy to Porsche purists, but it was a masterstroke of business management. By the late 90s, Porsche had become the most profitable car company in the world. They took the profits from their newly efficient factories and invested them into a project that would change the industry forever: the Cayenne SUV. Without the efficiency lessons learned from Toyota, the Cayenne would have likely bankrupted the company. Instead, it became their biggest gold mine. The story of Porsche's survival is a powerful lesson in humility. It proves that even the most prestigious brands can fail if they refuse to evolve. It took a group of Japanese outsiders to show a legendary German icon the way we've always done it was a path to destruction. Today, every time you see a Porsche 911 GT3 or a Taycan, you aren't just looking at German engineering. You are looking at the legacy of a Japanese management revolution. Porsche kept its soul, but learned how to survive from the masters of efficiency.